fast. Verse number 30. Dehi nityamavadyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani na tvam shochitumarhasi. Kiran, read.
Arjuna, this soul dwelling in the bodies of all can never be slain. Therefore, you should not mourn for anyone.
Conclusion of everything from verse 11 to verse 30. I'll give you the meanings. Bharata again meaning Arjun. Dehi, the soul that dwells. Dehi. Dehe, in the body. The soul that dwells in the body. Whose body? Sarvasya, everyone, of everyone. The soul that dwells in the body of everyone. Ayam Nityam is eternal. And avadyo, indestructible. Tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, arhasi, should, no, not, should not, shochitam, same word again, mourn, sarvani bhutani, for all living creatures. Therefore, you should not mourn for all living creatures. So, summary and conclusion of this, chapter 2 in Bhagavad Gita is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So, verse number 11 to verse number 30 is the Gyan, Brahma Gyan of Atma being eternal, and that you are Atma, therefore you are eternal. In India, we don't say Mr. So-and-so died. No? We say Mr. So-and-so ne sharir choda. So, Mr. So-and-so ne sharir choda, that means he is not sharir, na? He has left the body. Pran choda, sharir choda. That means you are something that has left the body. Therefore, you are not the body. That understanding should come. That Gita is not telling us to be heartless. My husband died and I am really celebrating. Or, or my child has died and so, I should go to the movies or whatever. It's not telling you to be heartless. It's telling you, mourn if you have to, feel sad if you have to, but with understanding that what has died is not my relative, not my child, not my mother, not my father, not my husband, not my wife, but the body has been left so that this person transcends the body and goes to higher and higher realms of spiritual evolution. It is necessary, it is inevitable, and it's the way. Imagine nobody dies. Imagine everyone is like Buddha, 90, 100, 200, 1000 years old. No leaf falls from any tree. No fruit drops. It's an inconceivable world because this is the law of the universe. Everything has to be rejuvenated. Death is not dying, it's getting rebirth, it's getting rejuvenated. So, Gita is not telling us also to become detached from everyone. Don't love anyone because they are going to die soon. That's not what Gita is teaching. What Gita is teaching is that when you love someone, understand why you are loving that person. That in that person, which is the same as the that which is in you, and the that in me, and the that in the person has become one. And that is really love. which is what we talked about at your satsang. So, if you are finding discord with another person, if you are finding that the love has disappeared, and if you are finding that I cannot love this person is XYZ, that means you have not yet made the connection A with your own self. And unless you make that connection with your own self, how will that own self make a connection with the self in the other? Because the self in me and the self in you is one and the same. And when I make that connection, we become one, not two. And there is no one in the world who doesn't love themselves. Everybody loves themselves. And if you understand what is this self, it's what is in me is you. Same. How can I not love you? If the you and me is the same, how can I not love you? I have to love. It is love. You are love. And that is what Bhagavad Gita is trying to bring you to. That state where you do not see the differences which are superficial. You do not see the differences which are temporary. Anything that is different from me and you is not real. Anything that is same between me and you is the only reality. And we need to work from that reality. And that is what exactly Bhagavad Gita is trying to teach us. When we go to buy a land, let's say, okay, it's empty. It's only got mud and trees and then we have a plan. We'll buy this land. Then here we will build our cottage. Then here we will have a vegetable patch. Then this will be meditation hall. Then this will be kitchen area. This will be living quarters. This will be whatever. Basically, it's all space. And we create walls to separate this space from that space, and now we give each of these spaces which are in our head separate by creating walls which are in our head, and we call this area meditation center. We call this area dining center. We call this area bathroom. We call this area whatever. But where is they are all? Space. They were all space before I created anything. And if I were to break down those walls which are in my head, they will again go back to only space. And that is what we are. We are Brahma. We have created these walls of body, mind, intellect, and we call ourselves Ritu and Amrita and Bhavesh and Avnit. And we have now think we are separate. This body goes, you become one. The body has been created by my mind. Remove it. You have created it. You only can remove it. You are that eternal one space, echo. So, all this is very good, intellectual, theoretical. How do I get there? From verse 31, Bhagavan Krishna gives you all the sadhanas to reach that understanding, which we will do next time.